Admiral Sarah Chen stood on the bridge of the UES Prometheus, watching the swirling blue vortex of hyperspace through the massive viewport. After 18 months of travel, they were finally approaching the coordinates provided by the mysterious signal Earth had received 2 years ago. The signal had been simple but clear, an invitation to join something called the Galactic Council, along with jump coordinates to their capital world. "Exiting hyperspace in 30 seconds, Admiral," announced Lieutenant Commander Torres from the navigation station. Sarah nodded, her hands clasped behind her back. The Prometheus was humanity's first and only Titan-class warship, stretching nearly 4 kilometers from bow to stern. It had taken the combined resources of every nation on Earth to build this monster, equipped with experimental fusion drives, quantum shields, and enough firepower to glass a small moon. The ship carried a crew of 12,000 and represented the absolute pinnacle of human engineering. "All stations report ready, ma'am," called out Commander Jackson, her second in command. "Weapon systems are powered down as ordered, but ready to activate on your command." "Good. Remember, we're here as diplomats first, but we're not going in defenseless." Sarah had insisted on bringing the Prometheus despite protests from the civilian diplomats aboard. If humanity was going to meet alien civilizations for the first time, they needed to make sure they weren't seen as easy prey. The hyperspace window collapsed, and suddenly they were surrounded by stars again. But what dominated the view ahead made everyone on the bridge fall silent. A massive space station hung in orbit around a blue-green world, easily 50 kilometers across and bristling with docking ports. Hundreds of ships of every conceivable design floated around it like insects around a hive. "My God," whispered Dr. Elizabeth Reeves, the chief diplomat. "It's beautiful." "Incoming transmission," reported the communications officer. "Multiple frequencies, they're trying to establish contact." "Put it through," Sarah ordered. The main screen flickered, and suddenly they were looking at something that definitely wasn't human. The creature had pale blue skin, large black eyes, and what looked like gills along its neck. When it spoke, the universal translator kicked in after a moment. "Welcome, newcomers. I am Harbor Master Zeph of the Aquarian Trade Union. Please state your species designation and intent." Sarah stepped forward. "This is Admiral Sarah Chen of the United Earth ship Prometheus, representing humanity and the planet Earth. We received an invitation to join the Galactic Council and were provided these coordinates." There was a pause, and Sarah could see the creature's eyes widening. "Did you say humanity? From Earth? And that vessel, what class designation is that ship?" "Titan-class warship," Sarah replied simply. The harbor master's expression changed completely. His gills fluttered rapidly, and he seemed to be speaking to someone off-screen. Finally, he looked back at them. "Admiral Chen, please maintain your current position. I am contacting the Council immediately. This is most unexpected." The transmission cut off, leaving the bridge in confused silence. "What do you think that was about?" asked Commander Jackson. Before Sarah could answer, another transmission came through. This time, the speaker was completely different. Tall, elegant, with silver skin and elongated features that somehow reminded Sarah of classical elven artwork. "Admiral Chen, I am Counselor Valeth of the Ethereal Dominion and current speaker for the Galactic Council. We have been expecting humanity, but—" The alien paused, looking troubled. "We were not informed you would arrive in a warship of such magnitude." Sarah kept her expression neutral. "With respect, Counselor, we received no instructions about what type of vessel to bring. The Prometheus is our diplomatic ship." "Diplomatic ship?" Valeth's voice rose slightly. "Admiral, our sensors are reading weapon signatures unlike anything in our databases. That vessel appears to be capable of considerable destruction. As I said, this is our diplomatic ship. Surely you understand that any species capable of interstellar travel must be capable of defending itself? There was another long pause. Sarah could see other figures moving in the background of the transmission, and she caught snippets of hurried conversation in languages the translator couldn't handle. Admiral, the Council is concerned. In our experience, species that arrive at first contact with such overwhelming military capability are often problematic for galactic peace. Sarah felt a flash of irritation. Are you suggesting that humanity is inherently aggressive simply because we built one large ship? Not aggressive, Admiral, but unprecedented. Most species arrive with exploration vessels, scientific ships, or at most light cruisers. Nothing approaching the scale of your Titan class. Commander Jackson leaned close to Sarah's ear. Ma'am, I'm reading massive energy signatures from that station. And some of those ships around it, they're armed too. Sarah nodded slightly, then addressed the alien counselor again. Counselor Valeth, humanity has always believed in the principle of speak softly and carry a big stick. We come in peace, but we come prepared. Surely the Council can appreciate a species that takes the safety of its representatives seriously? The alien's expression was unreadable. Admiral, the Council requires an immediate meeting. However, your vessel cannot dock at our station. Its size and weapons load are incompatible with our safety protocols. I understand. We can send a shuttle with our diplomatic team. No, Valeth said quickly. The Council wishes to meet aboard your vessel. We need to assess the situation properly. Sarah raised an eyebrow. Very well. You're welcome aboard the Prometheus. When would you like to arrange the meeting? Immediately, Admiral. This situation requires urgent attention. As the transmission ended, Dr. Reeves stepped forward, looking worried. Admiral, I don't think this is going the way we hoped. They seem genuinely frightened of the ship. Sarah looked out at the alien space station and the hundreds of ships surrounding it. Most of them were small, sleek things that looked more like racing yachts than warships. A few larger vessels appeared to be cargo haulers or passenger liners. Maybe that's not entirely a bad thing, Doctor, Sarah said quietly. It's better to be respected than dismissed. But what if they see us as a threat? Then we'll have to convince them otherwise. But we'll do it from a position of strength. The bridge crew busied themselves with preparations for the incoming delegation. Sarah watched the alien ships maintaining their distance from the Prometheus, noting how none of them came closer than several kilometers. Whatever reputation humanity was building out here, it was certainly making an impression. She just hoped it was the right kind of impression. 3 hours later, Admiral Chen stood in the Prometheus's main conference room, watching as the alien delegation filed in through the airlock. The room had been specially prepared for this historic meeting, with environmental controls adjusted to accommodate different atmospheric needs. Earth's flags hung alongside hastily created banners representing humanity's united front. The delegation was more diverse than Sarah had expected. Counselor Valeth led the group, his silver skin gleaming under the conference room lights. Behind him came Harbor Master Zeph, still looking nervous, followed by 4 other aliens of completely different species. There was a massive, bear-like creature with dark fur and intelligent brown eyes, an insectoid being with multiple arms and compound eyes, a reptilian figure with scales that shifted color as it moved, and finally something that looked almost human but with golden skin and pure white eyes. Admiral Chen, Valeth said formally as they took their seats around the large conference table. Allow me to introduce the emergency council session. You've met Harbor Master Zeph of the Aquarian Trade Union. This is General Korak of the Ursine Confederacy. The bear-like alien nodded gravely. Commander Zakth of the Hive Mind Collective. The insectoid's mandibles clicked in what might have been a greeting. Ambassador Sistara of the Scaled Worlds. The reptilian being's scales flickered from green to blue. and Sage Luminos of the Ascended Harmony. The golden-skinned humanoid smiled serenely. Dr. Reeves stepped forward. It's an honor to meet representatives of so many civilizations. I'm Dr. Elizabeth Reeves, Earth's chief diplomatic representative. Yes, quite, Valeth said, though his attention seemed focused on the conference room itself. Admiral, might I ask about the construction of this vessel? Our scans indicate technology that is unusual. Sarah gestured to Commander Jackson, who activated a holographic display showing the Prometheus's basic specifications. The ship is 4.2 kilometers long with a crew complement of 12,000. It's powered by fusion reactors and equipped with quantum shielding technology. General Korak leaned forward, his massive frame making the reinforced chair creak. Admiral, my species has been spacefaring for over 2,000 years. We have never seen quantum shielding deployed on such a scale. How did humanity develop this technology so quickly? Quickly? Sarah asked, confused. Humanity has been working on space technology for over a century. The aliens exchanged glances. Commander Zakath's compound eyes focused on Sarah as it spoke in a buzzing, clicking voice. Admiral Chen, our records indicate that your species achieved faster-than-light travel only recently. Most civilizations require 300 to 500 years between FTL discovery and the development of Titan-class vessels. Dr. Reeves consulted her tablet. I'm not sure I understand. Humanity achieved FTL capability 18 years ago, and we began construction of the Prometheus 14 years ago. Is that considered fast? Ambassador Sestara's scales shifted to a deep red color. Dr. Reeves, most species in the Council took between 2 and 3 centuries to develop vessels of this magnitude. The fact that you built this in less than 2 decades is concerning to many. Sage Luminos spoke for the first time, his voice carrying an odd musical quality. There is more to consider than construction speed. Admiral, our sensors detect weapon systems that appear to be entirely novel. What do you call the primary armament? Sarah hesitated. The question was getting into classified territory, but these were supposed to be diplomatic negotiations. The ship is equipped with plasma pulse cannons, fusion torpedoes, and what we call quantum disruptors. The silence that followed was deafening. Harbor Master Zeph's gills fluttered so rapidly they looked like they were vibrating. General Korak's claws extended slightly, digging into the table surface. Quantum disruptors? Valeth asked faintly. Admiral, such weapons are theoretical even for the most advanced Council species. How did humanity develop operational quantum disruptor technology? Commander Jackson stepped forward. If I may, Admiral, the quantum disruptors were developed by our weapon research teams based on principles derived from our FTL drive technology. We noticed that the quantum field manipulation used in our jump drives could be weaponized. Commander Zakath's entire body seemed to shiver. You weaponized your FTL technology? That should be impossible. The quantum mechanics involved are apparently more straightforward than you might think, Dr. Reeves interjected. Human scientists have always been quite creative when it comes to practical applications of theoretical physics. Ambassador Sestara's scales had shifted to what Sarah was beginning to recognize as an alarmed purple. Admiral Chen? I must ask directly. Is humanity an aggressive species? Your rapid technological advancement, combined with the immediate weaponization of discoveries, suggests a concerning pattern. Sarah considered her response carefully. The truth was that humanity had built the Prometheus specifically because they had no idea what they might encounter in space. After decades of science fiction depicting hostile aliens, humanity had decided it was better to be over-prepared than sorry. Ambassador, humanity values peace, but we also believe in being prepared for any eventuality. We've spent most of our recorded history dealing with conflicts among our own species. When we received the invitation to join the galactic community, we wanted to ensure we could protect our diplomatic mission. General Korak growled softly. Admiral, in my experience, species that prepare for war usually find it. With respect, General, in our experience, species that fail to prepare for war often become victims of it. Sage Luminos raised a hand. Perhaps we are approaching this incorrectly. Admiral, may I ask what humanity expected to find when you received our invitation? Sarah exchanged glances with Dr. Reeves, then decided on honesty. Sage Luminos, we didn't know what to expect. Our popular culture is filled with stories of hostile alien invasions, galactic empires that enslave primitive species, and cosmic horrors beyond imagination. We hoped for peaceful contact, but we prepared for the possibility that the universe might be more dangerous than we wished. The aliens were quiet for a long moment. Finally, Harbor Master Zeph spoke up. Admiral, I think there may be a fundamental misunderstanding here. The Galactic Council was formed specifically to prevent the kind of conflicts you seem to expect. We are a peaceful alliance of trading partners and allies. That's wonderful to hear, Dr. Reeves said. But surely you can understand our caution? From our perspective, we're a young species meeting unknown aliens for the first time. It would be irresponsible not to take precautions. Counselor Valeth leaned back in his chair. Dr. Reeves, the problem is scale. Most species arrive with vessels carrying a few hundred beings at most. Your ship could potentially devastate entire worlds. The level of destructive capability you've brought to what should be a peaceful first contact is unprecedented. Commander Jackson couldn't help himself. Sir, with respect, isn't that our choice to make? We're not threatening anyone. We're here for diplomatic talks, exactly as requested. Ambassador Sistera's scales flickered rapidly between colors. Commander, the very existence of such capability is threatening. Your species has created a vessel that could single-handedly challenge the entire Council fleet. Sarah felt a chill. Are you saying the Council fleet couldn't handle one human ship? The silence stretched uncomfortably long. Finally, General Korak spoke. Admiral, our military analysis suggests that your Titan-class vessel would require a coordinated effort from at least 60% of the Council's combined naval forces to neutralize. That level of individual capability has never been seen before. Dr. Reeves looked stunned. Are you telling us that humanity accidentally built the most powerful warship in known space? Not accidentally, Sage Luminos said quietly. Your species appears to have an unusual talent for applied destruction. The question now is what the Council should do about it. Admiral Chen felt the weight of the moment settling on her shoulders. The revelation that the Prometheus was apparently the most powerful single vessel in known space changed everything about these negotiations. She could see the fear in some of the alien representatives' faces, but also something else. Calculation. Counselor Valeth, Sarah said carefully, what exactly are you proposing the Council do about humanity's membership application? The silver-skinned alien seemed to be choosing his words very carefully. Admiral, the Council has 3 options traditionally available when dealing with species whose military capability exceeds certain thresholds. We can offer full membership with certain restrictions. We can offer associate status with monitoring protocols, or, Dr. Reeves prompted when Valeth hesitated. General Korak answered bluntly, or we can declare the species a threat to galactic peace and authorize preemptive action. The temperature in the room seemed to drop. Commander Jackson's hand moved instinctively toward his sidearm, while Sarah held up a hand to stop him. General, Sarah said evenly, are you threatening humanity? I am explaining Council protocols, Korak replied, his bear-like features unreadable. These protocols exist for the protection of all Council species. Sage Luminos leaned forward. Admiral, perhaps we should focus on less dramatic options. Humanity clearly possesses remarkable technological capabilities. The question is whether those capabilities can be channeled constructively. Commander Zakth's mandibles clicked rapidly. Sage Luminos speaks wisdom. The Hive Mind Collective has reviewed your technological profiles. Humanity appears to excel at rapid innovation under pressure. This could be valuable to the Council if properly directed. Ambassador Sestara's scales had shifted to a cautious yellow. The scaled worlds have dealt with aggressive species before. Usually they are aggressive because they feel threatened or because they lack alternatives. Perhaps humanity simply needs better options. Harbor Master Zeph nodded eagerly. The trade union agrees. Admiral, your species shows incredible engineering capability. Imagine what humanity could accomplish with access to council trade networks, scientific databases, and peaceful collaboration opportunities. Dr. Reeves seized on the opening. That's exactly what we're hoping for. Humanity has always thrived when given challenges to overcome and problems to solve. We don't want to be a threat to anyone. We want to contribute. Counselor Valith studied Sarah carefully. Admiral, if the Council were to offer humanity membership, would your species be willing to accept certain limitations on military expansion? Perhaps agreements about ship construction and weapon development? Sarah considered the question. The truth was that Earth had only built one Titan-class ship because of the enormous cost and resource requirements. They didn't have plans for building a fleet of them anytime soon. Counselor, I think you may be overestimating humanity's military ambitions. The Prometheus took the combined resources of our entire planet to build. We don't have the infrastructure to mass-produce vessels like this, even if we wanted to. General Korak's ears perked up. You built this ship using the resources of a single world? Well, yes. Earth is our only developed world so far. The aliens exchanged amazed glances. Commander Zakth buzzed excitedly. Admiral, most Council species require the industrial output of at least 3 to 5 worlds to construct a Titan-class vessel. Your species accomplished this with one planet? Commander Jackson couldn't keep the pride out of his voice. Humans are pretty good at organizing large-scale projects when we need to. It took cooperation from every nation on Earth, but we got it done. Sage Luminos smiled serenely. This explains much. Humanity appears to have an unusual capacity for unified effort. Most species struggle with planetary cooperation for centuries after achieving spaceflight. Dr. Reeves sensed an opportunity. That's true. When humanity realized we might be making contact with alien civilizations, our entire species came together to build the best ship we could. Every nation contributed their best technology and resources. Ambassador Sestara's scales brightened to an interested blue. Dr. Reeves, does this mean humanity could apply the same unified approach to peaceful projects? Absolutely. In fact, we'd prefer it. Military projects are expensive and stressful. We'd much rather focus on exploration, science, and trade. Counselor Valith was quiet for several minutes. Apparently consulting with someone through a communication device Sarah couldn't see. Finally, he looked up. Admiral Chen, the Council has reached a preliminary decision. We are prepared to offer humanity full membership with a probationary period of 50 Earth years. Sarah felt relief flood through her, but Valith wasn't finished. However, there are conditions. Humanity must agree to limit military vessel construction to current levels for the duration of the probationary period. Any new ship designs must be approved by Council military oversight, and humanity must contribute technological expertise to joint Council projects. Dr. Reeves leaned forward eagerly. What kind of joint projects? Harbor Master Zeph answered enthusiastically. Dr. Reeves, the trade union has dozens of infrastructure projects that could benefit from human engineering expertise. Bridge construction, space station design, atmospheric processors. The applications are endless. General Korak nodded slowly. The Confederacy has been struggling with shield technology improvements for decades. If humanity could share quantum shielding developments, it would benefit every council species. Commander Zakth buzzed agreement. The collective requires improved fusion reactor designs for our hive ships. Human innovation could solve problems that have challenged us for generations. Sarah looked at her diplomatic team, seeing excitement in their faces. This was exactly what they had hoped for, a chance to contribute rather than just defend. Counselor Vailith, those terms seem reasonable. However, I would need to consult with Earth's leadership before making any formal agreements. Of course, Admiral. We understand this is a significant decision. The Council is prepared to give humanity time to consider our offer. Sage Luminos raised a hand. Admiral, there is one additional consideration. Your species' rapid technological development suggests an unusual aptitude for innovation. The Council would be very interested in understanding human research methods and educational systems. Dr. Reeves smiled. Sage Luminos, we'd be happy to share. Human innovation tends to come from combining different perspectives, encouraging creative thinking, and not being afraid to try unconventional approaches. Fascinating, Vailith mused. Most council species follow very structured research protocols. Perhaps humanity's more chaotic approach could complement our systematic methods. Ambassador Sistera's scales had settled into a warm orange color. Admiral Chen, I believe this arrangement could benefit everyone. Humanity gains access to galactic knowledge and markets, while the Council gains access to human innovation and problem-solving abilities. General Korak stood up, his massive frame impressive even in the spacious conference room. Admiral, I admit I was concerned about your species' military capabilities, but after this discussion, I believe humanity could become a valuable ally rather than a threat. Harbor Master Zeph was practically vibrating with excitement. Just imagine the trade possibilities. Human engineering combined with Aquarian material science, Ursine manufacturing capabilities, collective logistics networks. We could revolutionize galactic infrastructure. Sarah stood as well, extending her hand to Counselor Vailith. Counselor, I believe we have the foundation for a very productive relationship. I look forward to presenting these terms to Earth's leadership. Vailith studied her outstretched hand for a moment, then reached out to clasp it carefully. Admiral Chen, I believe this marks the beginning of a new era for the Galactic Council. Welcome to the galactic community. As the aliens filed out through the airlock, Dr. Reeves turned to Sarah. Admiral, I think we just made history. Sarah nodded, looking out at the alien space station and the hundreds of ships that no longer seemed quite so distant. Doctor, I think we just made friends. And that might be even more important than making history. The Prometheus continued its slow orbit around the Council station, no longer an object of fear, but a symbol of humanity's potential contribution to galactic civilization. In the distance, the first alien ships began approaching closer, their crews eager to learn more about the newcomers who had arrived in peace, despite carrying enough firepower to reshape the galaxy.